Hello and welcome to Fiftyfabulous Knits. My name is Pia. I am a Danish knitter, once again coming to you from Texas, where my husband Peter and I are visiting our son and his family. For the next 30-40 minutes, something like that, I'm going to be talking about knitting and crochet. But before I get into that, I just want to briefly mention our current Knitalong, the Knit and Be Kind cow. It's a very informal Knitalong where we all focus on kindness in our knitting. And the details for the Knitalong can all be found in my show notes. And the show notes you will find by clicking on the link in the description box below. That'll take you directly to them. So, what am I wearing this week? See, this is super exciting for me because this is a new pattern release. This is my crossover top. I have been knitting on this top on my travels. And now it's finished. The pattern has been written, it has been tested, and it is out there. So it's a very light and airy summer top. And when I say summer, I mean Danish summer. I think for Texas, it's more of a springtime top. But I'll just try to see if I can stand up here so you can see. It is relatively short. It stops here. This is the top of my hip. And it is very light and flowy, super nice to wear. It has this stitch pattern on the yoke. It is a rounded yoke, and it has this stitch pattern of some crossed stitches here distributed over the yoke, and that is where all the increases for the yoke take place. So they're sort of hidden within these little crossed stitches. That's a detail I really like because I'm not crazy about visible increases on a yoke, but this stitch pattern does a really good job of hiding them, I think. It is obviously knit top down. It has just a teeny tiny ribbing on all the edges. And it is, I would say, a fairly quick knit. After 1 week of testing, the first of my testers reported back that, yeah, I'm done, that's it. And yes, they are the world's best testers, obviously. But I don't think they're magicians. I think it is a fairly quick knit. It is knit, I knit this one in a sport weight merino, but you can get away with either fingering weight or a DK. It will of course change the material that you get, but the stitch gauge for this is 20 stitches to 4 inches, and that can be met with a wide array of yarn types. This particular one is knit in my own hand-dyed yarn, my sport weight merino superwash base in the color Guldlok. Yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. I've been talking a lot about it while I was knitting it. So yeah, it's done. Here it is. It's finished. I really hope that you will enjoy it. I am enjoying it a whole lot for sure. I do feel like I wear it all the time. I also feel like I've been podcasting in it for a number of times, but I think that is only on the Danish episodes that I've been wearing it. So I thought I'd wear it today since the pattern is released and I really wanted to share it. I also have 1.5 finished object to share. And again, if I have shared these before on my Danish episode last week, so if you watched that one, nothing new in the area of finished objects. But in case you don't speak Danish, I get to show you these things. I finished this monster of a sweater. Peter's huge sweater is done, it's finished, it's off the needles. Wow, and it's blowing out the camera. But yeah, I am so happy to have this done. And I will just insert a picture of Peter and John together in their matching sweaters. Aren't they just the cutest thing you've ever seen? I love them in these sweaters, but yeah, John's is, as you can probably see, a little bit too big for him, but he will have absolutely no use for it until the fall comes around. So by then it'll probably fit him. Peter can use his for sure. This is in no way too warm for a Danish summer. So yeah, it is a very simple classic raglan sweater. You can see I have the raglan increases going down here. And then on the yoke, I put these Estonian braids. And they look really complicated to some, but they're super simple to make. Super, super simple. And they give a little interest to a yoke that can be maybe boring. Where I changed the color, I did a little slip stitch just to make the colors blend together more naturally. I really like that. And yeah, long sleeves, some ribbed cuffs here, and a few short rows just to lower the back a little bit, because you don't want it going up in the back. So this one really sits very, very well on Peter's body. I hope that it will also fit other bodies. I am planning to write up the pattern for these sweaters, and I'm gonna write them from teeny tiny toddlers and up to very, very large men like this one. I knit these out of Drops Lima, which is a wool alpaca blend. It is a robust yarn. It's a sturdy yarn. It can take some beatings, and it should, because yeah. So they're warm. They're really, really warm. And of course you could go with something like wool of the Andes, or something that is only wool without the alpaca. That will make them a lot less warm. But yeah, I have done my fair share of stockinette in the round. I have done my fair share of Estonian braids for sure. Now they're both done. I still need one more, because my little grandson, my youngest back in Denmark, Victor, of course also needs one. So I'm gonna cast that on very soon. I just need to forget about it. Just try something else for a little while, and then I'm gonna cast one on for him, because they're gonna look amazing together, my three boys. I also finished one sock. This is a test knit from the Danish designer Knitwear by Maki. And yeah, I am loving this. I have asked her if she will be translating the pattern into English, because I would love for you guys to be able to knit this. It's a beautiful stitch pattern. Very, very simple to knit. You're not doing anything difficult. You're just, yeah, making these little tiny braids, and you have a short row here, and just the kitchen stitch toe, and it's super easy to knit. I loved knitting this one. I didn't finish the second sock, but I'm going to finish it really soon. It's just, I don't know, knitting socks when you're sitting here and it feels like summer, but I am going to finish it because when I come home, I'm gonna need some warm socks for sure. I have been knitting a lot with all the yarn that I have bought over here. I have some nice souvenirs to share with you. I'm gonna start with the project that I really don't want to show because it just looks like a hot mess. This, I mean, it looks terrible, right? It is my hat shawl, and I can try to show it, but it needs blocking. But you can see it's like a very traditional hat with some garter stitch in the center and then some feather and fern along the sides, and finished with a knitted on border. Yeah, so I believe in the magic of blocking. I'm sure this is going to block out beautifully and give me a very lovely, warm, drapey shawl that I can use to keep warm. Because it does get cold at night in Denmark and in northern Italy, where we usually stay for the summer. I can get cold at night, so I think I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of this. And if it turns out that it's too warm for summer, it will be cold again later, and it will be beautiful just laying in the sofa as a blanket that you can just tuck over you. So it is knit with wool of the Andes worsted weight in the colorway Mink Heather. And since it's worsted weight, that's not a usual weight to use for a hat shawl. Usually you would knit that with a fingering weight. But I really wanted something rustic and like big, thick, heavy. So I really think I am getting that with this yarn. I am so loving it. This was yarn that I had ordered before I arrived because I thought I would make a sweater out of it. I thought I would make like a cabled sweater, and that would be beautiful in this colorway. I still think so, but it wanted to be a hat shawl, so a hat shawl it is. I'm halfway done with the knitted on border. I only have these stitches to bind off, so I think that this will be done soon. This has a really good chance of being done soon. The thing is, this pattern for the knitted on border, I don't know if it's me or if it's just not an intuitive pattern. I need to refer to the instructions all the time. So it's not something that I can knit on while I'm having a conversation, hanging out with people. I need to focus 100% on my knitting when I am knitting. So usually it is what I do in the morning if I wake up before everyone else, which I sometimes do. Then I'll just be sitting in my bed with a cup of tea and knitting this border. So, but it'll get done, for sure it will, because I'm so looking forward to seeing what happens once I block this. I'm also crocheting. I think I mentioned this the last time that I was gonna crochet the solitude blanket, and that is also almost done. And let me see which is the right side. That would be this one. Look at this, a lot of blanket. It's I think it's a little bigger than it is in the pattern, but what happens is you crochet this circle in the middle, which is so beautiful with all these puff stitches and crossed over stitches and whatnot. And then after that, you turn the circle into a square, and from there on out, it's basically just crocheting a giant granny square. So you can make it as small or as big as you want to, depending on the amount of yarn that you have available. I think I'm getting there. I think this is big enough for me. It's super fun because it goes really fast. I mean, the hook that I'm using is 15.75 millimeters. This is, it's huge. I had to teach myself a new technique while crocheting. Usually I will only use my right hand when I crochet and just holding the yarn with my left hand, but that puts so much strain on my elbow. I was in such pain. So I figured out a way to hold my right hand completely still and use the left hand to like throw the yarn around the hook. Worked like a charm, almost done, and not a lot of pain. I am using some yarn that I picked up in Hobby Lobby, super cheap. This yarn bee, yeah, I even think, yeah, the price is still on. $4.99 for a skein, and I think maybe did I use 6 skeins or something like that. Super budget friendly. It is a 100% acrylic yarn, which is not usually my jam, but for a blanket that's gonna be living in my summer house, my vacation house, it's fine. You can bring it to the beach, you can bring it to the garden, and you can just throw it in the washer. Don't have to care about anything. So yeah, I am loving this particular yarn for this particular project. And this yarn, you can get it anywhere. You can get it at Michael's, you can get it at Joann's. I even saw it in Walmart. You can get it everywhere. But yeah, for the solitude blanket, I really like it as a budget-friendly option. Do you remember on my last podcast, I was telling how I ordered some Knit Picks palette to make another half and half triangles wrap? Yeah. I knit a couple of centimeters, and then I was sitting one evening, it must have been right after I recorded actually. I was sitting browsing the internet as you do, and I suddenly saw that the linen quill was on sale. Yeah. So I ordered, of course, 3 skeins of linen quill. It was a substantial discount, and then you also get a discount for signing up for the newsletter. So this was super okay. I picked the peony pink colorway, which I am loving. This was what I was going for with the Knit Picks palette, but the Knit Picks was a bit more pink, where this is much more dusty, like a sandy rose. It is absolutely beautiful. And my God, this is a scrumptious yarn. It's just squishy, and it feels very special, probably because of the linen content. It is absolutely lovely to touch and really a joy to knit with. So yeah, I of course cast on. Of course I did. I didn't get very far though. I was waiting because I actually ordered a ball winder and Swift while I was over here because it's so cheap here and I need an extra set for when we go to Italy this summer. So I thought, why not order it and then I can wind the yarn that I'm getting. So I was waiting for that, holding out, but yeah, didn't arrive. Should be arriving today, but I caved. I just folded up by hand and cast on the 260 stitches and started knitting, and I am loving it. And I know I have been going on and on and on about this half and half triangles wrap. It is such a joyful knit. There is something so soothing about it. In the beginning, you're like, yeah, you can relax. You can just lean into this because this is just a sea of garter stitch. You're gonna be doing this for a long time. So just lean into it, enjoy the process. And then as it starts to grow and you see the triangle taking shape, it becomes more and more interesting. I just want to see, I just want the full triangle. And then you get to add the new color, which is just even more exciting. So yeah, it is a very enjoyable knit. I am still gonna go with my plan for the other half of this, to do the salt and pepper. This is one of my undyed bases, and it is just a black and a white thread that is put together. I think it's gonna look beautiful with this very, very dusty, nice pinkish color. This will be my airplane knitting, so I see myself getting quite a lot of work done on it. We have some flights ahead of us, so that is gonna keep me sane and happy and relaxed as we start our journey back home. The last thing that I have on my needles is knit with partly leftover yarns from my Field to Burn. I had some sport suede and some sock yarn left over. So these three colors I had, all my own hand-dyed yarn. And then I went yarn shopping, and I'm gonna talk a lot about that trip because that was special. But I did buy a swirl from, I need to check my show notes. I'm not wearing my glasses. There is no chance I'm gonna be able to read anything on this label, but you know, maybe you can read it. It is a swirl and it is from Eve to Yarn. It's a Texas hand dyer, and what a swirl is 5 minis wound together. So these two colors I didn't pick for this particular project. I'm gonna save those for another occasion, but these three I chose to go together with these three, and I just loved how they were working together. And I decided to do some stripes, because who doesn't love stripes, right? As you can see, it's not really stripes. Here is where you see it best, I think. When I am joining a new color, I'm doing one round where I slip every other stitch, again, so that the colors will blend together a little. I really like that. I love how these colors are working together. I just love how this is just growing and being so beautiful. I am debating whether to knit the sleeves long or keep them relatively short. I think I'm gonna go for the short sleeve version. Yeah, because this is going to be a light and airy top, much like this one, which means that I will be able to use it all summer. But I won't be able to use it if I put in long sleeves. Of course I would, but I wouldn't be getting nearly as much wear out of it. So I think I'm gonna go with the short sleeves, perhaps, for now. I can always just rib out the edges and knit the sleeves longer. It doesn't have any ribbing, it's just a rolled over hem, and I'm gonna do that on the sleeves and on the body as well. I think I'm gonna do a bit of waist shaping just to keep things tidy and neat. I think that would look really pretty. So yeah, I'm loving these colors for summer. I mean, maybe they're not summer colors, but still, just imagine a sun-kissed skin and then these glowing colors. That's going to be absolutely lovely. This is so much fun. Yeah, the stripes are just always fun to knit because you always want to see what comes next. Which color am I going to add next? Yeah. So what I am doing actually for the colors is this one, Closets, the brown, and Gulag, the golden one. Those two I have a lot of. So I'm doing one Closets, then another color, then one Gulag, another color, Closets, another color, so on and so forth. Just to make sure that there is some consistency, but that it's not like a stripy stripe pattern, because I like to play with the colors, but I also like that there is something of a repeat. I have dream knitting. This is what I have for actual knitting, but I have dream knitting. I have a lovely new friend that I met over here, a podcast viewer, Linda, who very, very kindly arranged a day of yarn shopping and cookie eating and just talking, getting to know each other. It was a wonderful day. She took me to McKinney. They have this little historical part of town where everything is just beautiful. I'm gonna include some footage at the end. Everything is beautiful. Everything is yarn bombed, which is, I mean, you wanna go where the yarn bombing is, right? In McKinney, you find the McKinney Knittery. And that must be the closest thing to paradise for a knitter. Wow. Oh. At first I was completely overwhelmed, but then Linda gave me the brilliant idea to focus on the Texas hand dyers, just to narrow the choices a bit. And I came away with some beautiful yarn. The swirl that I just showed you, and then I came away with yarn for what I'm calling my Texas tea. And I need to show you the bag from the McKinney Knittery. This is not a bag of yarn. I found these 4 colors that I need to put into my Texas tea. Just look at them. I'm not completely convinced that both pinks should go. Maybe it should only be this. Maybe it should only be this. I'm not sure. I had to get them both just to be on the safe side. But this was the first yarn that I just fell head over heels in love with in there. This is from Blue Mule Fiber. It's their Midnight colorway on their extra fine base, which is a 75% superwash merino, 25% mulberry silk. So all the silk obviously makes it look alive. The color is so beautiful. I don't know how well it is coming through on the camera. It is such a beautiful color, and it is great, thank you, my color, and it is soft and it is wonderful. So that is going to be the main color of my Texas tea. And once I had this, the rest was so easy, because then I found this one, and this is Chasing Rabbits Fiber Co. The colorway, and I'm going to butcher this, bog. I don't know. As a Danish person, I would say bog, which means book, but that's probably not how you say that. It is this rich golden colorway. It is on their single ply fingering merino base called Solo. And just look what these two will do to each other. Oh, they like each other. They want to be friends. They want to be something together, and they're gonna be something together. Of course, my Texas tea will have the Lone Star, and this is perfect. I mean, this is what stars are made of. So these two together. And then I wanna add a third color just for interest, and that will either be this Madeline Tosh, and the original Madeline Tosh was from Texas, so I decided that it counted as a Texas hand dyer. This is the colorway Scout on their Tosh Merino Light, and it's just beautiful. It really is beautiful. And now I'm dropping yarn. I'm just gonna pick this up because just look. Oh, this one definitely needs to go in there. But I also got this skein because maybe it's going to be a 4-color project. I don't think so. It was more that options, because this is beautiful too. If I'm not going to use it for my Texas tea, I am sure I am going to find something very, very wonderful to use it for. This is long dog yarn, and the colorway is called First Blush on the Bounce Sock base, which is a 75/25 merino nylon base. And it is just so soft and so lovely, and it is, I mean, I know it's a sock yarn. I couldn't use it for socks. I want it up there when I can see it all the time. I think if it doesn't go into the Texas tea, I could see myself using this to make some sort of summer top or a shawl, or yeah, you could make anything with this. Just look at all the speckles. Oh, the little splashes of yellow. I'm actually a secret lover of yellow. I don't wear yellow, but I just really love the color. My car is yellow. My house used to be yellow. It's not anymore though, but yeah, I love yellow. And there's yellow, yay. So yeah, that was a glorious day at the McKinney Knittery. A couple of days later, I was over at my son's academy, his jiu-jitsu school, and we needed some big baskets to put stuff in, boxing gloves actually. And I said to him, you know what, I'm gonna go to Hobby Lobby. There's a Hobby Lobby just around the corner, which is dangerous, but I said, I'm just gonna pop over to Hobby Lobby and pick up some baskets, because that's always the safe bet. They'll have some really nice baskets. They did. But they also had the Yarn Bee hand-dyed tonals. And I have used that to knit my Christmas sweater last year, and I am using it to knit the half and half wrap, the one I have at home, in more autumnal colors. One half is brown, the other half is this beautiful variegated green. But they had this, and it was calling to me. Look. And I realized that last week as I was showing it. I have a thing with gray and gold together. I just think those two colors, they bring out the best in each other. But just look. So I got 3 skeins of the gray, and this is going to be a colorwork sweater with long sleeves. It's not something that I'm gonna start right now, but at some point I am going to start it, and I'm going to love every second of it. It's gonna be beautiful. I just need to figure out which colorwork sweater. I don't know. I think I'll go look at some Jennifer Stein Gas, Orland Knitworks. I always love Caitlin Hunter's patterns, so I will see. But for sure, this is going to be a beautiful colorwork sweater. And it is actually going to travel in this bag, which is a project bag from Knitwear by Maki. Same person who made the pattern for these socks. A bag like this, not this bag, but one like it, is one of the prizes in the Knitalong. I'm just saying, there's still time to participate, but yeah, check that out in the show notes. When I met up with Linda in McKinney, she was so kind. She brought me some gifts, and I just wanted to share them with you because they were such wonderful gifts. I need to share. Look, little bookmarks. They're pom-poms. So they're pom-poms mounted on these large paper clips, so you can use them as bookmarks. And how cute does this look? Oh, I'm actually gonna use these. I got a handful, and I'm gonna use them for my knitting books, for my Laney magazines, because I fold the pages, and that's not a nice way to treat a book. This is a nice way to treat a book. So I'm really, really happy with these. They're so cute. And she also got me something that I am so amazed with. These scrubby things. This yarn is, I don't know what it is. You can probably hear it. It's this really rough yarn with, looks like little acrylic, more than a halo to it, but they are brilliant. They will make any surface shining, and it will not like scratch it or destroy it in any way. I'm in love with these, and I need to figure out where to get this yarn, because there needs to be more of these in my life for sure. So yeah, I just wanted to show these. I'm sorry I can't really tell you anything about it, but they're brilliant. And maybe some of you know where to get the yarn. If you do, please drop a comment, because maybe I will have time to get some before I go. And if not, I can order some and just have it waiting for me the next time I come over here. Because yeah, my time here is coming to an end. And I'm gonna get myself together. You know, actually, I was just thinking, I'm feeling so self-conscious taping this because, as you have probably noticed, I'm not wearing any makeup. I have this thing with my eye that will like come and go and come. And right now it's here. It means that I cannot wear anything around or close to my eyes, no makeup at all. So I was feeling super self-conscious, but I'm telling myself, you need to get over it. You're 56, you can go without makeup. Stop already. So I'm recording with no makeup, and that's probably a good thing now because I could feel myself tearing up just saying my time here is coming to an end. But it is, of course it is. I've almost been here for a month, and it has been so wonderful, and I've enjoyed every moment. But yeah, on Friday we are going down to Houston. My son has to fight an event in Houston on Saturday, so we get to stay there with them in Houston. And then Sunday we're gonna say goodbye and start our journey back. It will be quite the journey, but I know that I will be super sad to say goodbye, but I also know that once I'm on the plane and it is actually happening, then I'm gonna be so happy thinking about everyone that I will soon see again. Because my big girl back in Denmark, my oldest granddaughter, she had a birthday while we were gone. It was terrible. I don't want to miss her birthday. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing her again, her little brother, Victor, that I'm gonna knit the sweater for. Her father, my beautiful youngest son, and his lovely wife. My mother, I mean everyone. My best friend, Anna, who has been taking care of everything while we were gone. And of course, my little puppy, Philly. So yeah, I know that will be wonderful as soon as I am on the plane. But yeah, we have really had a good time over here. John had his birthday, and for that we went to the zoo. We went to Dallas Zoo. It is amazing to see a zoo through the eyes of a 2-year-old. Best day ever. It was so wonderful. He was just taking it all in. It did take him a while to actually realize that those penguins, they were alive. There were penguins there and they were alive, and then there was a lion and that was actually also alive. But as soon as he got it, he just threw himself into it. It was so wonderful. Definitely not the last time I'm taking him to the zoo. Wow, it was a great day. We also spent a lovely day in Fort Worth. I was complaining to someone that Texas was a little disappointing. It was like, where's all the cowboy boots and the hats and the guns? What's this? I mean, this is not Texas. And they said to me, yeah, you should go to Fort Worth. So I did, and I love Fort Worth. We went to the stockyards, we saw the cattle drive, we just strolled around for a lovely sunny afternoon, taking it all in. It was so, it was breathtaking. It was so cozy. We really enjoyed ourselves. John liked the cattle drive for sure. Again, it took him a while to realize why were everyone staring in that direction. But then he saw the first cowboy, and then the cows, they're longhorns. Yeah, they're called longhorns for a reason. They were, wow. Yeah, so we've really been enjoying ourselves. We don't go on many excursions when we're here because my son and his wife are working really hard on building the academy. So they work all day, every day except for Sunday. And we also want time to just hang out, just relax and be together. Many afternoons I stay home with John while the rest of the family goes to the academy. Peter trains there when we're over here. And we just have the most amazing afternoons. We're singing and dancing and playing and reading books and yeah. We'll be back. We'll be back soon. We were talking about coming back in August, and then someone said to us, no, don't do that. That would be stupid. August is terrible. So maybe we're gonna wait for September. Let's see how long we can wait, because yeah, it's so difficult to have your children and your grandchildren not even sharing a continent. You would think that would be the least they could do for their parents, but no. Anyway, we get to see a lot of the world, and that is beautiful too. I get to make friends all over the world. I'm so happy. Linda, hi. Thank you again. I really hope we get to hang out again next time I'm over here. Thank you so much for all your kindness, and thank you everyone for all the kindness that you've been giving me. I love podcasting. I love this 50 Fabulous family that we've built around the podcast. I am so grateful for anyone who watches the videos, who gives me a thumbs up or a comment or contact me on any of the other channels. I can't tell you how much that means to me. I'm so happy. And with that being said, I think I'm gonna end things here. I'm gonna put on some footage from the McKinney Knittery, from a little bit from the town of McKinney, and something from Fort Worth, from the cattle drive and the beautiful stockyards. And I really hope that I will see you again. I'm gonna be podcasting sometime next week, and that is going to be in English and in Danish, because I will be drawing, or will have, yeah, okay, blah blah. Somehow the next episode will be connected to the fact that I need to find the first winner of our Knitalong. We are going to continue the Knitalong for one more month, but the first winner will, one way or the other, be announced on the next podcast. Do check it out if you haven't already. There's still plenty of time to participate. So until next week, happy knitting, stay safe, stay happy. Bye.